Basically, I started, as my career, I was doing IT, information technology, and then it took me 2 years to change that career path from IT to acting. So 2 years was preparation, mostly.
So why change out of something very safe like IT, which people will always need, to acting, where there is less and less work every year as time goes on?
Because I've got so much creative energy, and if I don't use it, I'll go mad.
Okay.
And do you have another way of earning your living as well, so that you can have a bit of income?
Yes, I work as sales assistant at the moment, but I have to look into gaining some skills that will give me a sort of stable.
Yes, it's important to have some other way that you can earn some money that keeps you free for auditions, but so you can just pay your rent and stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. So where do you see yourself fitting into this business?
Where do I see?
What sort of parts do you see yourself playing?
Professional parts, doctors, lawyers, IT geeks. Young lovers, I can play young lovers really well.
Is that because you are what?
Well, my playing range is 20 to 30.
Okay.
Because of my ethnicity, I think there's a bit of niche as well for me.
What is your ethnicity?
I'm actually from Bhutan, but ethnically I'm Nepalese, so Nepali. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes, and it has helped me. Like the recent commercial work I did was purely because I could speak Nepalese, and that was good.
What was that in?
It was a TV commercial for Leica Mobile. It's from a mobile company.
And that's filmed over here, presumably.
Yes, but it was more for international Nepali speaking communities. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so what are you going to do for us, Samantha?
I'm going to do Constance from King John.
Great.
For theatre piece. I have picked a script. Well, I only got it recently. It's a Kala from. It's a 10-minute play. I've got it over there, but it's basically a psychiatrist. I'm playing a psychiatrist.
Wow.
Forgive me, because I only picked the script recently.
So is it written by a playwright?
Yes, it's a play.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
Great.
And I've got a third one for TV. Maybe we can use it for TV. It's Teresa from Unbearable Lightness of Being.
We need to see two. What would you like to show us? Which two would you like?
I'll show I'll show Constance and Teresa, please.
Okay, lovely.
So Teresa is from the Unbearable Lightness of Being?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Great.
Thou art not holy to belie me so. I am not mad. This hair I tear is mine. My name is Constance. I was Geoffrey's wife. Young Arthur is my son, and he is lost. I am not mad. Oh, I would to heaven I were, for then 'tis like I should forget myself. Oh, if I could, what grief should I forget? Preach some philosophy to make me mad, and thou shalt be canonized cardinal. For being not mad, but sensible of my grief, my reasonable parts produces reasons how I may be delivered of these woes, and teaches me to kill or hang myself. If I were mad, I would forget my son, or think a cloud's babe were he. I am not mad. Too well I feel the grief of each calamity. Thank you. Thank you.
I was going to say, Richard, should we all sit maybe we should sit together, do you think?
Yeah,
I
fine.
was just conscious. Samantha, would you just come over here a bit so you're
Don't lock
to
it.
this audience?
The only reason I sat over here
Yeah.
is sometimes you will get a really long table with a panel, especially if you're in a final recall
Bridget,
for a theatre show.
Leave it. Don't lock it, please, Bridget, because we'll always have the same thing. Just leave it, please. Sorry. Forgive me.
And sometimes you'll get a really long table and you don't know where to pitch the questions, you don't know who to look at.
Okay.
That's the only reason I sat there.
Okay.
But that's worth keeping in mind for everybody.
Yeah,
If it ever happens to you.
you have a long table. But just for us
But
today.
absolutely.
Yeah, why don't you just say to us, to this
Yeah,
audience?
that's-
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Lovely. Okay. So whenever you're ready, Samantha.
Yeah, the trouble is I don't really know.
We can set the camera closer when we do the TV.
Yes. There should be a Zoom, it's just that I don't know it.
Sorry, 2 seconds. I just happened to have some blue tack and I thought it might.
Sorry you had that interruption, Samantha. That was
But it was distracting. These things happen. I've known directors' mobile phones ring in the middle of auditions and they take the call. Well, it's up to you. You can say, is it okay to wait until the director's off the phone? Or sometimes whoever else in the room says, carry on, it's fine. And in a way you've got to put up with that.
Did you find it distracting or
Oh,
were
is
you
that
okay?
I was okay.
Well done.
Okay,
But
good,
things
brilliant.
do happen, so be prepared.
Yes.
That's the thing.
With the Zoom operating, I've just been shown how.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, whenever you're ready, Samantha.
Thou art not holy to belie me so. I am not mad. This hair I tear is mine. My name is Constance. I was Geoffrey's wife. Young Arthur is my son and he is lost. I am not mad. Oh, I would to heaven I were, for then 'tis like I should forget myself. Oh, if I could, what grief should I forget? Preach some philosophy to make me go mad, and thou shalt be canonized cardinal. For being not mad, but sensible of my grief, my reasonable parts produces reasons how I may be delivered of these woes, and teaches me to kill or hang myself. If I were mad, I should forget my son, or think a clouds of babe were he. I am not mad. Too well I feel the different plague of each calamity. Thank you. And the next piece is Teresa from Unbearable Life. Maybe should we change the angle for you? Or is there?
Yeah, whatever you feel the most comfortable with.
Take me to them, to the other women, who only make love to them. I'll undress them for you. I'd like to, really. I'll give them a bath and I'll bring them to you. Other women's bodies can be our playthings. I know you see other women. I know it. Every day I tell myself, well, it's nothing. He's just playing around. He can't resist it. He loves me. He loves me. Oh, sorry, could I do it one, please?
Sure.
Is that all right? Take me to them. To the other women. To the other women when you make love to them. I'll undress them for you. I'd like to, really. I'd like to give them a bath and bring them to you. Other women's bodies can be our playthings. I know you see other women. I know it. Every day I tell myself, well, it's nothing. He's just playing around. He can't resist it, but he loves me. He loves me. I'm sure of that. He loves me. He loves me. But I can't take it anymore. I've tried. I just can't. I've tried so hard. Don't leave me here alone. Take me. I know you're tired of me. I can see it in your eyes.
Thank you. Okay, well done.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Feedback now? Is that
Do
good
you
for
want
you?
to do feedback, or should we do it straight away for these ones?
Whatever you feel.
It might be good, might be
Yeah,
good.
and
Yes.
it-
Okay,
and
so you pull up a chair.
You can all learn by this, because stuff we'll be saying is stuff we might want to see from people. Mistakes that you might not make that might make you look better. So it's all it gives you a go.
Do you want to just pull up a chair?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
pull up a chair. I'm a bit close.
Can I come over here?
Good, okay.
The course at the City Lit is called the Professional Acting Diploma, and it's actually a 2-year course.
Right.
And
Yeah, good.
Is 2 years long enough to learn your craft?
yes, I think so. In fact, I've not been here 2 years.
You've been here for 1 year?
I've been here for 1 year,
Okay, what
and I
have
have
you done
previous.
during that year? Just tell us.
We have looked at various theoretical aspects of drama, of
So
acting,
when you say theoretical, you sort of from an
Historical.
academic point of view?
historical,
Right.
Grotowski, Stanislavski, Bogart, Stanislavski.
So you did a bit of what they do a lot in America, the kind of the method, as it were.
A little bit of looking at it, yes. But we have done some,
Enjoy that?
yeah. Well, it was a learning
Did you
curve.
find it useful?
Yes, I did.
What do you think is meant by that? That's the method.
I think it's being so in the moment that you are, as in life, when you're in life, you're able to do more than one thing at a time. You're able to think and maybe, I don't know, iron or cook, or you may be doing 3 things at once.
So to do with motivation, isn't it? A lot of it. To be becoming another person, doing an action as well as.
Yes,
Yeah.
as well as saying that. Well, then I suppose in a way, they shouldn't be just lines.
No. Good. Okay. And what else did you do?
We've done so far in the year 4 productions. Yeah, and the first one was with using Laban, Shakespeare, together, and we did small scenes from we call them the tragic lovers. So it's mainly the tragedies, with a thread of Antony and Cleopatra going through.
Good. Sounds interesting.
So what part were you born to play?
I hope. I'm hoping there's more than one part for me, actually.
Absolutely, but they always say every actor has one part that they are born to play. Which is yours?
I might have to write it.
Really? Doesn't exist already?
Well, I don't know all the roles, but I don't think I can do tragic lover, but I actually like doing quirky,
Quirky. Okay.
slightly quirky.
So whose writing do you most admire?
Well, there's a few. I like Beckett.
Becky.
Yeah, and
Sure.
Pinter.
So you might do an all-female production of Waiting for Godot,
Yeah.
which has been done.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but yes, I'd love to.
Do Happy Days.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Excellent. So what are you going to do for us, Bridget?
Well, I'm going to do Permutations by George C. Wolfe, and I'm going to treat you, she said. I'm going to give you the prologue to Henry V.
Henry V. Excellent. And which would you like to do first?
I do Permutations first.
Okay, fantastic.
And who is it by again, did you say?
George C. Wolfe.
Lovely.
Wolfe.
Wolf. Thank you. I just
What else has
wanted
she
to know
written?
that.
I don't know, I'm going to be honest. I don't
Okay.
know. But that was from the Coloured Museum, actually, and there are lots of little roles in it.
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed, that's what I was going to say.
My mama used to say, God made the special, then God made the exceptional. Then when God got bored, he made me. Cause she don't say too much of nothing no more, not since I laid me this egg. You see, it all got started when I had me sexual relations with the garbage man. Wee, did he smell. Not bad, no. He smelled of all the good things folks never should have thrown away. His sweat was like cantaloupe juice. His neck was like a ripe, red strawberry. And the water that fell from his eye was like a deep, dark, juicy grape. I tell you, it was like fucking a fruit salad, only I didn't spit out the seeds. I kept them here, deep inside. Well, my mama locked me off in some dark room, refusing to let me see the light of day, cause what would the neighbors think? It wasn't but a week or so later, I got this hurting fever down here. It was worse than anything I had ever known. And then I started bleeding. There was blood everywhere. Well, it must have been too much for a body to take, because the next thing I remember is coming to, and there was this big white egg laying between my legs. First I thought somebody must have put it there, some kind of joke. Well, when my mama come back from church, she just about died. Normal Jean, what's that thing between your legs? Normal Jean, you answer me, girl. It's not a thing, Mama. It's an egg, and I laid it. Oh, for a muse of fire. Oh, I'll start again.
completely blank. Is it possible to do something else?
Yeah, sure.
Good. It's another prologue, and it's Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
Two households, both alike in dignity in Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of our two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Good.
Thank you.
What's your ethnicity?
Put up a chair.
What's your ethnicity, Bridget?
My parents are from Jamaica.
Jamaica. Do you do patois?
Not very well.
Okay. I would say work on your patois. I was going to say to you, if you can do that speech and transfer it into patois.
The
Romeo and
permutations.
Juliet.
Oh, the Romeo and Juliet. Ah, okay.
That would be really, really different. Work on it, because it's something that could make.
Change. It's a
Well,
sort of different.
yeah, people would sit up and listen. Or you could, if you're doing, I mean the Colour Museum. Yes, I've seen that
A few
before.
times, yeah.
It was Sophie Ocanido's speech at RADA when she left. And it's good. But I wanted to see more of you. I wanted to see more parts you could play. Yesterday I talked about being what people want you to see.
I'm just going to
What
get
people want to see. And I wanted to see you. Because hardly anybody is going to cast you as an American. They're usually going to find a
An
black
American.
actor who can do that. So, you started off, I said, or someone said, tell me about yourself. And you said, well, that's not the answer I wanted. It's really not the answer. You knew you were going to be asked because, hey, you've been in this room and you've seen the first audition we've done. Even if you'd have been outside that door quaking in reception, or you'd have been just outside this door and you'd have been able to hear little bits of what's been going on, you'd have roughly picked up on it. Always have something up your sleeve. So I said, oh, wow, that's a really interesting question.
I hope I
I've never
didn't
been
say that.
asked that before.
Oh, I see.
Because you are probably going to be asked it at 80% of all auditions and interviews you go to. Your voice for the space was not enough
Oh,
when you were talking as yourself.
yeah.
When you started your speech, the fridge door opened and you came alive. But you were sitting there and you're going, well, I like to, and I couldn't hear some of the words you were saying. And if we'd have been in this situation and you'd have been the 49th person of the day, I would have switched off and I thought, right, what am I going to have for supper tonight? Or, oh, I must remember.
Hello, I'm Catherine Addy.
Catherine Addy.
Yeah. Catherine with a C.
A-double-D-Y.
A-double-D-Y, yeah, that was really good.
You
Usually everyone gets it.
Addy or Mark Addy?
Oh, I wish I was a relative of Mark Addy. It's like Mark Addy, but I don't know him personally, no, alas.
Lovely. So tell us about you, Catherine.
Well, I'm currently just about to finish my course at the City Lit. It's a 2-year course, and yeah, we've got our showcase in a few weeks, which is really exciting. Pardon?
Have you enjoyed that?
Yeah, definitely.
Hard work?
Yes, a lot of hard work, but
Full time?
Monday to Thursday, but that becomes full-time.
Yeah.
And especially as I've been working part-time waitressing as well, I've sort of been
Where do you waitress?
Byron Burgers.
All right.
So yeah, get 50% off. So if you play your cards right.
And
But-
Catherine, how did you set about choosing your pieces then?
Well, for quite a few years I'd been trying for drama schools. So I actually have had a huge advantage by not getting in, because every year.
Tried for lots of drama schools?
Yep, lots of drama schools for about 5 years, and so because I hadn't got into some other drama schools, I'd actually collected all these monologues.
Did you get any feedback from those drama schools or not?
Yeah.
Do you know why you didn't get in?
Well, I got loads of stacks of final rounds, and it was just numbers, and I think sometimes I've got my hair and stuff. I think I've got a bit of a look. Well, just as in big curly hair, and I don't know. I'm not the.
Sure, it doesn't really, unless your hair is dropping over your face, it doesn't depend on what your hair looks like.
No, I suppose.
People often
What I
ask
mean is, in
us
my
questions
appearance, I
that
think
really
there's
doesn't.
very few girl places, and I think it was just casting. That's what I'm talking about, casting, and so.
Apart from coming here, where did you really want to go? Where were you disappointed you didn't get in?
The drama centre.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
very good.
It's a good one, and Bristol got to final rounds there quite a few times, but it doesn't really matter. I came here.
The final round, it means you're going to get there somewhere.
So why acting?
Gore. It sounds a bit cheesy, but I suppose like why living, why breathing? I just got to do it. I love it.
What on earth to do?
I know. Well, that's what I've been. I'm sure you get that answer a lot, but it's what I got to do. So I'm going to do it.
Okay. And what if I were to look into a crystal ball and say you will never ever make it as an actor? What would you do then?
Oh, I won't believe you.
Well,
There's something about me that's kind of like I don't know. I just keep going, and I listen to all the good stuff, and the bad stuff being good criticism, but I won't really listen to the really negative stuff.
So are you quite tough? I mean, can you withstand all that rejection?
Yeah, I mean, I think not getting into drama school had been brilliant. I mean, and especially with last rounds, I knew that I had it. I've got it, but being battered quite a few times, and not to say it wasn't heartbreaking, and I spent a few days in bed crying, watching all of the 40 Towers or something.
I see people crying.
But,
I see them crying.
you know, then I got over it and got on with it. So, yeah.
So, but you said it. What is it? You know you've got it. What is this magical it?
I don't think it's. I just being present and knowing what you're doing, and coming in, being open, being able to work with anybody, and just being.
Being professional.
Yeah, being professional.
Where are you
Making
from?
sure. Bexley Heath, which is southeast London, Kent border. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. What you going to do for us, Kathy?
I have got a contemporary piece, which is Eaning Growl by Penelope Skinner. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Sorry, Ian Brown.
Eaning Growl. It's the word given for light when it passes through a prism at a particular. It's sort of a weirdy title, but it's a play
Okay.
by
And
Penelope
who wrote
Skinner.
that?
Penelope Skinner.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah, it was at the Royal Court a few years back.
Yeah, I remember.
I think
Okay,
it
what
was.
else do you have?
And then I have Portia from Julius Caesar.
Okay, lovely. All right. Thank you whenever you're ready.
Thank you. A pub. Me and Mark have the most amazing how we met story ever. I was having a falafel and he was on a nearby table, and I started telling him about numerology, and he was really interested. And then we made friends on Facebook, and he sent me this message saying how he'd Googled it, and actually it's totally amazing, like just stuff didn't realise was out there. And then he sent me a message saying, I want you to come out with me, have a drink and an ice lolly. He said, I want to get to know you better. So we went out and I held out, you know. I mean, I fancied him loads, so I really wanted to make him wait. But then he said he had something important to tell me and he invited me round to his flat. Amazing. And he'd looked up our numbers. He'd actually looked up our numbers online, which I'd already done, of course, but I hadn't told him. And he said we're 88% compatible, which are pretty good odds, he said. And he said, listen, he said, I've been falling in love with you ever since I first saw you. And I just keep falling. And I know we've both been hurt before, but I was wondering if tonight we could play a game. Pretend it's just you and me, and we're two human beings who think they might, who know they might, like each other. And then he kissed me. Oh, isn't that the most beautiful story you have ever heard? Ungently, Brutus stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you, so I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humour that sometimes had its hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape, as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
Thank you very much. Just pull up a chair. You've done this piece medium brown. Have you done it a lot?
Quite a lot, I suppose. It's a bit
Because
stark.
I just had the feeling, Catherine, that you were rushing it a bit.
Yeah.
And you were kind of anticipating it a bit too. That you weren't really thinking about what you were saying.
Oh, nice to see you.
Hello,
What
good
are you
afternoon. My name is Marcia Tucker.
doing? Excellent.
Marcia.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us about you.
Well, at the moment, I am just completing a one-year course at the City Lit. I have been in the profession before. I trained.
Used to be with Alan Thomas, didn't you?
Yes. Gosh. And I trained at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama from 1976 to 79 and worked in TV, radio and theatre. Been in the RSC, done the odd things like the EastEnders of the world, all those sort of telly things. And due to family commitments and personal reasons, I gave up the profession. And but during that time, I still used the skills because I became a training consultant and used my taught business people presentation skills and how to conduct themselves in meetings. So I've actually created another business, which is a bit like the same about drama and acting, because you've still got to go out and pitch for business. I've worked on big contracts, I've had to create training programs and gone out and have to pitch for companies. And yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last 18, 19 years. And now
So why are you getting back into acting? Or
Well-
are you getting back into acting?
some people might say I've got unfinished business, but actually, you know, I've got to the point my children have grown up and I have got still the training business and I can still do that, but I just feel that at the moment I'm in my 50s, I don't mind saying that, and I'd like to just sort of have a bit more creativity in a different way, and you know what, it's never too late.
No,
Very true.
completely right.
Very true indeed. So where do you see yourself now fitting into the business?
Well, I suppose when I see myself as, I suppose, as obviously a more mature woman, and also playing parts, maybe professional, more professional roles, mothers. There must be some granny parts somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, and I'm working on this basis that, you know, like myself, that, you know, when I was younger, that maybe the people who, like myself, sort of stepped out a bit, have decided not to come back again, and I'm going to, you know, pick up some of the slack. But I'm seeing the business in a totally different way than I did when I was much younger, and I think I'm more realistic. And actually, you know what, just the idea of getting some work and having that other side of me will be, as far as I'm concerned, will actually be enough to feed me in sort of in terms of growth. And I'm looking forward to that challenge and that adventure.
Good.
Good, thank you very much.
Excellent. So what are you going to do for us, Martin?
I'm going to do Cleopatra from Antony to Cleopatra. And I'm going to then do a small bit from Casino Royale, which is the best part I know. So I just thought I'd chuck that in and
Kissing the Royal.
no, Casino Royale.
Oh, Casino Royale.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, I wish it was a play. Oh, I should have which.
Good stuff. Okay. What are you going to do first?
I'm going to do Cleopatra first.
Lovely.
O Charmian, where thinkst thou he is now? Stands he, or sits he? Or does he walk? Or is he on his horse? Oh, happy horse, to bear the weight of Antony. Do bravely, horse, for what's thou whom thou movest? The demi-atlas of this world, the arm and burdenet of men. He's talking now, or murmuring, where's my serpent of old Nile? For so he calls me. Now I feed myself with most delicious poison. Think on me that am with Phoebus' amorous pinches, black and wrinkled deep in time. Broad-fronted Caesar, when thou wast here above the ground, I was a morsel for a monarch, and great Pompey would stand and make his eye grow in my brow. There he would anchor his aspect and die with looking on his life. All right. By the cut of your suit, you went to Oxford or wherever, and you naturally think that human beings dress like that. But you wear it with disdain. My guess is that you didn't come for money, and your friends made you never forget it. Which tells me that you were at that school by the grace at somebody else's charity, hence a chip on your shoulder. And as your first thought of me was orphan, that is what I think you are. Oh, you are. I love this poker thing. And that is absolutely right. As MI6 looks for maladjusted young men who do not think twice about sacrificing others to sacrifice queen and country,
You know, SAS types with easy smiles and expensive watches. Rolex? Ah, Amiga. Beautiful. Now, having just met you, I wouldn't go as far as to call you a cold-hearted bastard, but it wouldn't be a stretch too far. You see women as disposable pleasures and not meaningful pursuits. So, as charming as you are, I'm going to keep my mind and my eyes on our company's money and off your perfectly formed arse. Even accountants have had imagination. Good night, Mr. Bond.
Okay, thank you very much.
So, I liked what you said about coming back into the business.
Yeah?
I didn't necessarily like the way you said it, because you gabbled,
Oh,
and probably putting
Curry Machado.
Karima Chad.
Curry, as
Curry.
in Indian food. And
So
Machado.
just spell the first name, Doctor, would you? The second.
C-U-R-R-Y.
Curry.
Curry, yeah, and then what's
And
the
then
next?
Machado, M-A-C-H-A-D-O.
M-A-C-H-A-D-O.
Wow, okay.
Is it double barrel?
Yes, it is.
So you've got to separate those three names,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's difficult.
especially in a room like this, because Kalimantan, that could be anything,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Good. Tell us about you. Where does the name Machado come from?
It comes from Cuba. It's my wife's surname. We
Right.
decided to put the two surnames together when we were planning to have a child, since in any Hispanic country our child would carry both our surnames. So we
Right.
decided to become the
So why do you as an actor have to carry both your surnames?
I don't. It's just that I have become used to using that as my name, as my identity. It's
Okay,
one I've come to feel comfortable with.
okay. Sorry, we digress. Tell us more about you. Why are you here?
I'm here because 3 years ago I came back to the country, having done various other things with my life, and a voice in my head told me that I should be trying acting. From the first audition I went to, and particularly when first time I stepped out on stage, I discovered that this was what I'd been looking or waiting for all my life without realizing it, and continued to try to get as fast as I could down that path. Found City Lit, began to do courses here, and then came on to this professional acting diploma, which I'm now completing.
So what sort of stuff do you see yourself doing? Are you more a film and television actor? Are you more a theatre actor? Straight?
I'd like to do both. I've only really done stage work up till now, but I enjoy the experience I've had working with camera. I've enjoyed that, and I would like to certainly explore that further. The kind of work I see myself doing, I see myself playing the intellectual roles. I can play perhaps slightly more experienced lover roles. Can play roles with some gravitas, particularly when I let my beard grow out. In fact, I'll be playing Polonius in a couple of months' time. Roles which have an edge to them, whether it be an edge of an angsty kind or of a more perhaps sinister kind. I like playing psychopath.
Okay. And so what was the part you were born to play?
Would very much like to have the chance to play Iago sometime.
Really? Okay. And if you could be in any TV show, past or present, playing a character, which one would you play?
I think I'd have to say Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Great.
going to do some Iago from Othello and Dysart from Peter Schaeffer's Equus.
Excellent. Good stuff. Okay. Lovely. And what should we start with?
I'll start with Iago.
Lovely. When you're ready. Thanks.
And what's he then, that says that I play the villain? And this advice is free I give, and honest. Probable to thinking, and indeed the course to win the more again. 'Tis most easy the inclining Desdemona to subdue in any honest suit. She's framed as fruitful as the free elements. And then for her to win the more, were to renounce his baptism, all seals and symbols of redeemed sin. His soul is so enfettered to her love, that she may make, unmake, do what she list. Even as her appetite shall play the god with his weak function. How then am I a villain to counsel Cassio to this parallel course directly to his good? Divinity of hell. When devils will the blackest sins put on, they do suggest at first with heavenly shows, as I do now. For whiles this honest fool plies Desdemona to repair his fortune, and she for he pleads strongly to the more, I'll pour this pestilence into his ear, as she repeals it for her body's lust, and by how much she strives to do him good, she shall undo her credit with the more. So will I turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her own goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all.
Thank you.
Let me tell you exactly what I'm going to do to him. I'll heal the rash on his body. I'll erase the welts cut into his mind by flying manes. When that's over, I'll set him on a nice mini scooter and send him puttering off into the real world, the normal world, where animals are treated properly, made extinct, or put into servitude, or tethered their whole lives in dim night just to feed it. I'll give him the good normal world where we're tethered beside him, blinking our nights away in a non-stop drip of cathode ray over our shriveling heads. I'll take away his fields of ha-ha and give him normal places for his ecstasy. Multi-lane highways driven through the guts of cities, eradicating place altogether, even the idea of place. He'll trot on his metal pony tamely through the concrete evening. And one thing I promise you, he'll never touch hide again. With any luck, his private parts will come to feel as plastic to him as the products from the factory to which he will almost certainly be sent. Who knows? He may even come to find sex funny. Smirky funny. Bit of grunt funny. Furtive and trampled and entirely in control. Hopefully he'll come to feel nothing on his fork but approved flesh. I doubt, however, with much passion. Passion, you see, can be destroyed by a doctor, cannot be created. You won't gallop anymore, Alan. Horses will be quite safe. You'll save your pennies every week till you have enough to change the scooter in for a car and put the odd 50p on the GGs, quite forgetting there are ever anything more to you than bearers of little profits and little losses. You will, however, be without pain. More or less completely without pain. And now for me, it never stops. A voice of Equus from out of the cave. Why me? Why me? Account for me. All right, I surrender. I say it. In an ultimate sense, I cannot know what I do in this place. But I do ultimate things. Essentially, I cannot know what I do, yet I do essential things. Irreversible, terminal things. I stand in the dark with a pick in my hand, striking at heads.
Thank you. Put up the seat. Iago, everybody loves to do Iago. It is terribly difficult, Iago. It's not to say that you shouldn't do it. Personally, Jonathan, I wouldn't play the whole thing leaning up against you.
Just a sec, please. Stillness, please.
We were having an affair for a long time. I got pregnant. He left his wife and everything.
Hardcore.
I know it sounds dodgy. But he provides for Josh. And he's hard worker. And he loves me. Really loves me.
So he should. You're gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
Maybe you should tell him. You know, come clean. I think if he's been a bit dishonest in his life, he won't have a problem with you being a bit dishonest in yours.
Maybe I should, yeah.
If he loves you, you won't care what your job is.
I know, but it's just been a bit too difficult for him. He's left his wife and everything, and he started a new business with my friend Lisa. And he's tired, and then I'm tired. I just can't seem to find the right moment. Oh, that's fantastic!
Oh, amazing. And there's your moment.
How do you mean?
Tonight, when you're celebrating. Well, you won't mind that you told a few pork pies, now his star's on the up.
He won't, I suppose.
What are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
Nowhere, probably. We stay indoors all the time.
Bottle of wine, nice takeaway. Oh, it's nothing better than the sofa, your man, and a Chinese.
Oh, I'm addicted to Chinese. I keep on telling... I keep on telling Fergus if Chinese is too bad for you. But Chinese people eat Chinese all the time. It doesn't seem to be doing them any harm.
Thanks for today.
No, thank you. You're the one who's doing all the picking up and dropping off.
I've really enjoyed it. I like you, Denise. I think you're ace.
Sorry, can I just stop?
We were having an affair for ages. I got pregnant. He left his wife and everything.
Hardcore.
I know it sounds dodgy, but he's a hard worker. He provides for Josh, and he loves me, Frank. He really loves me.
I should think so too. You're gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
Maybe you should just tell him. Come clean. If he's been dishonest in his life, He'll understand if you've been a bit in yours, surely.
Maybe I should, yeah.
If he really loves you. He won't be bothered what your job is.
I know, but it's been a bit difficult for him recently. He lost everything. And now he's starting a new business with my friend Lisa. They're working so hard, he's always tired. I'm tired, I just can't seem to find the right moment.
Ding!
Oh my God. It's amazing.
That's fantastic. And there's your moment.
How do you mean?
Tonight, when you're celebrating. He won't mind if you told a few pork pies, now that his star's on the up.
Yes, I suppose he won't.
Where will you go?
Oh, probably nowhere. We stay in most of the time.
Well, bottle of wine, nice takeaway. Nothing better than your man, the sofa, and a Chinese.
I'm addicted to Chinese. I keep asking Fergus if it's bad for you, too much Chinese. But Chinese people always have Chinese, and it doesn't seem to make them any better.
Thanks for today.
Thanks for you. You're the one doing the picking up and the dropping off.
No, I've really enjoyed it. I like you, Denise. I think you're ace.
I'm worried about Annabelle. She sits in the garden talking to herself.
Well, she's a child. She's 8.
I think you should test her for autism.
Because she sits in the garden.
She counts. She counts a lot.
So she's interested in numbers.
She told me there were 74 holes on each tile of the bathroom ceiling.
Well, there probably are. Good for her for bringing it to our attention.
I think you should test her for autism.
She's not autistic. Look at her paintings. Rubbish.
That one's good.
Yeah, but nowhere near as good as an autistic kid's.
Well, there's something wrong with her, sitting in the garden counting.
There's nothing wrong with counting. An interest in numbers is not a sign of illness.
She's not socialised. She's got no friends. What about a sleepover? I think even you managed to count
No. Not a sleepover. Why would we want another person in this house who's going to wet the bed or scream in their sleep?
Well, I think you're making a big mistake and she's going to hate you for it. Well, I'm off to the orthodontist. Still on for lunch?
Yes. Annabelle, hurry up, or we'll be late for Roman Day.
I'm worried about Annabelle. She sits in the garden talking to herself.
Well, she's a child. She's 8.
I think you should test her for autism.
Because she sits in the garden.
She counts. She counts a lot.
So she's interested in numbers.
She told me there were 74 holes on each tile of the bathroom ceiling.
Well, there probably are. Good for her for bringing it to our attention.
I think you should test her for autism.
She's not autistic. Look at her paintings. Rubbish.
That one's good.
Yeah, but nowhere near as good as an autistic kid's.
Well, there's something wrong with her, sitting in the garden talking to herself.
There's nothing wrong with counting. An interest in numbers is not a sign of illness.
She's not socialised. She's got no friends. What about sleepover? I think even you managed a couple of those.
No, not a sleepover. Why do we want another person in our house who's going to wet the bed or scream in their sleep?
Well, I think you're making a big mistake and she's going to hate you for it. Why, I'm off to the orthodontist. Still on for lunch?
Yes. Annabelle, hurry up, or we'll be late for Roman Day.
Good. Okay. The only thing I would say is when you showed her the mobile phone, you went, whoa.
We were having an affair for a long time. I got pregnant. He left his wife and everything.
Hardcore.
I know it sounds dodgy, but he's a hard worker. He cares for Josh and he loves me. Really loves me.
So he should. You're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe you should just tell him. Come clean. If he's been a bit dishonest in his life, he'll understand if you've been a bit in yours, surely.
Maybe I should.
If he really loves you, he won't be bothered by what your job is.
I know. It's been a bit difficult for him recently. He lost everything. And he started a new business with my friend Lisa. They work so hard. He's tired, and then I'm tired. I just don't seem to be finding the right moment. Oh, that's amazing.
That's That's fantastic. And there's your moment.
How do you mean?
Tonight, when you're celebrating, you won't mind you told a couple of pork pies now his star's on the up.
He won't, I suppose.
Where will you go?
Probably nowhere. We're indoors most of the time.
Bottle of wine, nice takeaway. Oh, there's nothing better than your man, a sofa, and a Chinese.
I am addicted to Chinese. I keep on telling Fergus, and Chinese is bad for you. But Chinese people eat Chinese all the time. It doesn't seem to be doing them any harm.
Thanks for today.
No, thank you. You're the one who's doing all the dropping off and picking up.
Just really enjoyed it. I like you, Denise. I think you're ace.
Action.
We were having an affair for ages. I got pregnant. He left his wife and everything.
Hardcore.
I know it sounds dodgy, but he's a hard worker. And he provides for Josh, and he loves me. Really loves me.
So he should. You're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe you should just tell him. Come clean. If he's been a bit dishonest in his life, he'll understand if you've been in yours, surely.
Maybe I should, yeah.
If he loves you, he won't mind what your job is.
I know, but it's just been a bit difficult for him recently. He lost everything. He started a new business with my friend Lisa. They're working so hard. He's always tired, then I am tired. I just can't seem to be finding the right moment. Oh, God, that's amazing.
That's fantastic. And there's your moment.
How do you mean?
Tonight when you're celebrating, you won't mind you told a couple of pork pies now his star's on the up.
He won't, I suppose.
Where will you go?
Probably nowhere. We're staying most of the time.
Oh, a bottle of wine, nice takeaway. There is nothing better than your man, the sofa, and a Chinese.
I'm addicted to Chinese. I keep asking Fergus if it's bad for you, too much Chinese. But Chinese people always have Chinese, and it doesn't seem to be doing them any harm.
Thanks for today.
Thanks to you, more like. You're the one doing the picking up and dropping off.
I've just really enjoyed it. I like you, Denise. I think you're ace.
Cut. Action.
We were having an affair for ages. I got pregnant. He left his wife and everything.
Hardcore.
I know it sounds dodgy, but he's a hard worker. He provides for Josh, and he loves me, Frank. He really loves me.
I should think so too. You're gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
Maybe you should just tell him. Come clean. If he's been a bit dishonest in his life, he'll understand if you've been so in yours, surely.
Maybe I should. Yeah.
If he really loves you, he won't be bothered what your job is.
I know, but it's been a bit difficult for him recently. He lost everything. He's just started a new business with my friend Lisa. They're working so hard. He's always tired. I'm tired. I just can't seem to find the right moment. Oh my God. That's amazing.
That's fantastic. Oh. There's your moment.
How do you mean?
Well, tonight, when you're celebrating, he won't mind if you tell a few pork pies, now that his star's on the up.
Yeah, I suppose he won't.
What will you do?
Probably nothing. We stay most of the time.
Bottle of wine, nice takeaway. Nothing better than your man, the sofa, and the nice Chinese.
I'm addicted to Chinese. I keep asking Fergus if it's bad for you, too much Chinese. But Chinese people eat Chinese all the time. And it doesn't seem to do them any harm, does it?
Oh, thank you for today.
Thank you. Most like you're the one doing the picking up and the dropping off.
I've just really enjoyed it. I like you, Denise. You're ace.
Cut. Action.
We were having an affair for ages. I got pregnant. He left his wife and everything.
Hardcore.
I know it sounds dodgy, but he's a hard worker and he provides for Joss and he loves me. Frankie really loves me.
I should think so too. You're gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
Maybe you should just tell him, come clean. If he's been a bit dishonest in his life, he'll understand if you've been so in yours, surely.
Maybe I should. Yeah.
If he really loves you, he won't be bothered what your job is.
I know. But it's just been a bit difficult for him recently. He lost everything. He started up a new business with my friend Lisa. They're working so hard. He's always tired, and I'm tired. I just don't seem to find the right moment. Ah. Oh my God. That's amazing.
fantastic. And there's your moment.
How do you mean?
Tonight, when you're celebrating. He won't mind if you've told a few pork pies, now that his star's on the up.
Yeah, I suppose he won't.
Where will you go?
Probably nowhere. Me staying most of the time.
Bottle of wine, nice takeaway, nothing better than your man, the sofa, and a nice Chinese.
I'm addicted to Chinese. I keep asking Fergus if it's bad for me, too much Chinese. But Chinese people always have Chinese, and it doesn't seem to do them any harm.
Thank you for today.
Thanks to you, more like. You're the one doing the picking up and dropping off.
Oh, I've just really enjoyed it. I like you, Denise. You're ace. Cut. Action.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll knock when I'm ready.
No problem, Mrs. Fairman.
Hello, Roy. I'm Laura Fairman, your lawyer. I think we've got some talking to do. These are pretty serious allegations against you. Now, have you thought of what your plea will be?
I'm innocent. Innocent, you hear? I was set up by them Jones brothers, scumbags. It wasn't you that sent them that sent it, was it? I can't afford no fancy brief.
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, Roy.
Bloody was, wasn't it? I don't need you. Get out of here. I prefer to go down and take their charity. Go on, get out of it.
Cut.
Cut.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll knock when I'm ready.
No problem, Mrs. Fairman.
Hello, Roy. I'm Laura Fairman, your lawyer. I think we've got some talking to do. These are pretty serious allegations against you. Now have you thought what your plea will be?
I'm innocent. Innocent, you hear? I was set up by them Jones brothers, scumbags. Here. It wasn't them that sent you, was it? I can't afford no fancy brief.
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, Roy.
It bloody was, wasn't it? I don't need you. Get out of here. I prefer to go down and take their charity. Go on, get off out of it.
Cut. Action.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll knock when I'm ready. No problem, Mrs. Fairman. Hello, Roy. I'm Laura Fairman, your lawyer. I think we've got some talking to do. These are pretty serious allegations against you. Now, have you thought your plea will be?
I'm innocent. Innocent, you hear? I was set up by those Joneses brothers, scumbags. Here, it wasn't them that sent you, was it? I can't afford no fancy brief.
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, Roy.
It bloody was, wasn't it? I don't need you. Get out of here. I prefer to go down and take their charity. Go on, get off out of it.
Cut. Action. Thank you, Sergeant. I'll knock when I'm ready.
No problem, Mrs. Fairman.
Hello. I'm Laura Fairman, your lawyer. We've got some pretty serious talking to do. These are very serious allegations against you. Have you had some thought about what your plea will be?
I'm innocent. Innocent, you hear? I was set up by them Joneses brothers, scumbags. Here, it wasn't them that sent you, was it? I can't afford no fancy brief.
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, Roy. I'm not at liberty to reveal that, Roy.
It bloody was, wasn't it? I don't need you. Get out of here. I prefer to go down and take their charity. Go on, get out of here.
Cut. Action.
Can I help you, sir?
You've got my dad in there, Arthur Bush. I want to see him.
I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Bush is being questioned by our officers at the moment and is therefore unable at present to have any visitors. Might I suggest you go home and call the station later when we may well have some more news?
I said I want to see my father.
And I heard you, sir. Though obviously you did not hear me. Do yourself a favour, Mr. Bush, and just go home. Go home.
You haven't heard the last of this.
Cut. Thank you, Sergeant. I'll knock when I'm ready.
No problem, Mrs. Fairman.
Hello, Roy. I'm Laura Fairman, your lawyer. I think we've got some serious talking to do. These are pretty serious allegations against you. Now, have you thought what your plea's going to be?
I'm innocent. Innocent, you hear? I was set up by them Joneses brothers, scumbags. Here, it wasn't them who sent you, was it? I can't afford no fancy brief.
I'm not at liberty to reveal.
It bloody was, wasn't it? I don't need you. Get out of here. I'd prefer to go down than to take their charity. Go on, get off out of it.
Cut.
Cut.
Good.
Action.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll knock when I'm ready.
No problem, Mrs. Fairman.
Hello, Roy. I'm Laura Fairman, your lawyer. I think we've got some talking to do. These are serious allegations against you. Now, have you thought what your plea will be?
I'm innocent. Innocent, you hear? I was set up by them Joneses brothers, scumbags. Here, it wasn't them who sent you, was it? I can't afford no fancy brief.
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, Roy.
It bloody was, wasn't it? I don't need you. Get out of here. I'd prefer to go down than to take their charity. Go on, get off out of it.
Cut. Action.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll knock when I'm ready.
No problem, Mrs. Fairman.
Hello, Roy. I'm Laura Fairman, your lawyer. I think we've got some talking to do. These are pretty serious allegations against you. Now, have you thought what your plea will be?
I'm innocent. Innocent, you hear? I was set up by them Joneses brothers, scumbags. Here, it wasn't them who sent you, was it? I can't afford no fancy brief.
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, Roy.
It bloody was, wasn't it? I don't need you. Get out of here. I'd rather go down than accept their charity. Go on, get off out of it.
Cut. Action.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll knock when I'm ready.
No problem, Mrs. Fairman.
Hello, Roy. I'm Laura Fairman, your lawyer. I think we've got some talking to do. These are pretty serious allegations against you. Now, have you thought what your plea will be?
I'm innocent. Innocent, you hear? I was set up by them Joneses brothers, scumbags. Here, it wasn't them who sent you, was it? I can't afford no fancy brief.
I'm not at liberty to say, Roy.
It bloody was, wasn't it? I don't need you. Get out of here. I'd rather go down than accept their charity. Go on, get off out of it.
Cut. Action.
Can I help you, sir?
You've got my dad in there, Arthur Bush. I want to see him.
I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Bush is being questioned by our officers at the moment and is therefore unable at present to see any visitors. Might I suggest you go home and call the station later when we may well have more news?
I said I want to see my father.
And I heard you, sir, though obviously you did not hear me. Do yourself a favour, Mr. Bush, and just go home. Go home.
You've not heard the last of this.